Good evening and welcome to this Wednesday, November 28th edition of FSU Weather. I'm student meteorologist Jennifer Collins.
And I'm student meteorologist Melissa Thomas.
And it's been a chilly one today here in Tallahassee.
Woke up freezing.
Yes, the low temperature this morning recorded in Tallahassee International Airport was 29 degrees for the morning low. So when you woke up this morning, you probably were bundling up, heading outside, especially if you were heading to Florida State campus. I know when I got here, it was very chilly.
Early Christmas present, I got this shawl / blanket, like a cover blanket, so I broke that out and was excited to.
Nice.
This weather.
Yeah, I made sure I got my scarves out. I made sure I had my my little headband on.
Oh, everything.
Like, cover up my ears.
Up. You know,
yes.
I need to get a pair of gloves. That's a good thing to invest in with this cold weather moving in.
Yes, and I saw a few people out there who were sending in pictures, and they actually had frost. on a lot of cars. So that was something that was kind of interesting having in this morning.
You know, honestly, I don't think I get up early enough to see that. I might have to shoot for that next couple cold mornings we have. Get to see that frost.
You can make a little snowman on the roof of your car or something.
That is a great idea. I'll have to look into that.
But heading on throughout the rest of the show, we actually have some warmer weather coming up and actually some rain chances heading on into the weekend. And then later on the show, we actually have some severe weather that's going to be hitting.
To keep in mind and monitor throughout, be weather aware throughout the week.
Heading into the weekend. But actually for now, we're going to send things over to the wall with Brantley. He's just going to give us a look at what's going to happen later on in the show today.
Thanks so much, Jennifer. Here's some time-lapse photography from Doak Campbell Stadium. And as the sun came up this morning, we did see some pretty clear skies and then some higher clouds moving through the area. Eventually, though, we did see more moisture move in, some heavier cloud cover now in place. And that moisture moving into the area is thanks to some high pressure over our area with some with some clockwise flow. That moisture is going to lead to partly cloudy skies tonight and a low near 34 degrees. And that calm wind is combined with that moisture is going to help form some frost in the morning, but that frost will quickly melt away once we get some sunshine and some warmer temperatures. Temperatures tomorrow warming up to the mid-60s for most of the Tallahassee area. Looking ahead toward the weekend, a wet weekend is ahead. Saturday, very stormy conditions outside, and then that rain does linger into Sunday as well. This is all thanks to a warm front moving into the area, so temperatures will rebound back up to close to the 80-degree mark, but we will have a lot of moisture and nasty conditions outside over the weekend here. Coming up for the rest of the show, we have more on our frosty forecast for Thursday, that stormy weekend coming up ahead, and the warm weather is going to return as we go into next week. We'll be timing that out, and we'll also have a look at when we could see some cold conditions come back again for the Big Bend region. Now we're going to take things over to Melissa with a look at our local weather.
Thank you, Brantley. So taking a look at our time lapse at St. George Island throughout the day, kind of cloudy, kept chiller temperatures, started off really cold, and throughout the afternoons warmed up slightly. Our actual that we ended up being really low for the average, 29 degrees in the morning, up to 55. Average, we sit at 44 and 69. We didn't quite get that record, but still, that's pretty close. That was a chilly morning to wake up to this morning. As we move into, currently we are warmed up to 46 degrees and it is clearing, and it will continue to clear throughout the night with calm winds throughout the evening. And the temperatures that we're sitting at currently are 46 degrees in Tallahassee. If you look down at Apalachicola, we're a little bit cooler or warmer in down by the Gulf with those warm waters. And up north, it chills down to even 43 in Thomasville. So we have a high to our west that's bringing us northerly winds into the area, calm 4 miles per hour for the Tallahassee area, and a little bit even calmer up north. And that wind coming through with the northerly flow is keeping us dry, keeping us cool, and that cloud coverage is kind of maintaining more to our west. And throughout the afternoon, every time it would try to move into the area, it can break up a little bit, allowing us a clear day throughout the day. Our radar, we saw no real rain throughout the area, stayed relatively dry, relatively cool, and that is across the whole region, starting from Panama City all the way east through Perry. And tomorrow you can expect the same. Clear, we'll be waking up to clear conditions, really cold. We're talking about that frost that you might see early in the morning. It'll be a very frosty morning, and it'll warm up throughout the afternoon with the cloud coverage staying mainly to our west and that high keeping us clear with some sunshine we can expect throughout the day tomorrow. But as we move into Friday and those rain chances we were talking about earlier start to kind of move into the area, you'll see it start to get cloudy throughout the evening, and those conditions will continue to deteriorate throughout Friday evening. Tonight, though, we stay partly cloudy, calm winds at 34 and waking up to 43, really chilly, but it will be a beautiful day. So good news on that front. We stay cold, we stay clear, we stay sunny. Into the evening, cooling down to 48 by tomorrow night and maintaining the clear conditions. 64 with sunshine tomorrow with that morning frost in the morning. And if you have animals that you want to get out before that rain moves in, tomorrow's a good day to do it because it's going to be clear and it won't be too cold by the afternoon. Your marine forecast 65 with sunshine, 1 to 2 feet seas, and you can expect a light chop in for the marine area. Looking at our 7-day outlook. Next couple of days are clear. Enjoy that weather. We will be still chilly with mid 64s highs, low 43s and 57. There's that weather that starts to move in by Friday early morning, late night, making for a really cloudy, rainy weekend through Saturday and Sunday. Kind of sticks around in the area through Monday. We warm up though with that. So we have our highs in the 79, lows 60s, drying out by the middle of next week. Now I'm going to leave it to Jennifer for a look at our southeast.
Yes, and as we take a look at what's going on around the southeast, we're sticking fairly cold, especially heading into the evening hours. 36 degrees right now in Nashville. They're going to get below freezing tonight. About 40 degrees for Atlanta. A little bit more towards the south. We're starting to see a little bit higher temperatures, especially in areas like Shreveport and Little Rock. 63 degrees in Shreveport as well as 40 degrees in Little Rock. Mainly clear conditions across most of the southeast right now. However, we are very dry because of these lower dew points. We're sticking into the teens and even into the 20s for some areas. It's very dry outside. Not a lot of humidity to create any clouds in these areas, so that's why we're staying very clear across most of the southeast. A lot higher dew points in areas like Shreveport and heading on to Texas because they do have this southerly flow that's bringing in a lot of moisture into these areas. As we look at the winds, we have this high pressure system located in central Alabama, which is allowing for this clockwise flow, which is bringing in some cooler conditions, especially heading on into areas like North Carolina as well as South Carolina. As we get on more towards Louisiana, we do have that onshore flow, which is bringing a lot more moisture in towards those areas. The bigger picture with that high pressure system located just into the southeast, we have another low pressure system that's going to move on into the region, which is going to increase our rain chances heading on into the weekend, which is why most areas of the southeast could actually see some severe weather heading into Friday for some areas of Arkansas and Louisiana. High pressure system, like I was saying earlier, it's giving us this clockwise flow. A lot of moisture coming in with this with that southerly flow into the areas of Louisiana and into Texas, which is why they're seeing some more cloud cover relative to where it's towards the east, where with that northerly flow, it's bringing in a lot more drier conditions. Like I was saying before, just some cloud cover associated with our northern Gulf states, and heading on to the north, we're seeing a lot more drier conditions, especially northern Mississippi, Alabama, and into Georgia. As we take a look at the storm outlook, we're actually going to have a slight risk heading into Friday, especially in areas of Arkansas, heading on into eastern Oklahoma as well as northeastern Texas, and even extending on into the Mississippi River area. So that is something to look into as we get on to the next few days, as we do have that chance for some severe weather. That southerly flow is going to increase the rain coverage heading into Thursday morning and into Thursday afternoon. And as we get into Friday, we're going to see a lot more rain associated with that southerly flow, just increasing the storm risk heading into Friday and into Friday afternoon as well. Tonight's forecast, mid-30s from some areas of the southeast, 45 degrees for Jackson, Mississippi, a little bit warmer, 57 degrees in Shreveport. Before tomorrow, it's going to be another cold one heading into the morning hours, 58 degrees for Atlanta, as well as 71 degrees with that southerly flow, so they could see some warmer temperatures in areas like New Orleans heading on to Louisiana. I'm going to send things back over to the desk with Brantley and Melissa.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Now, one thing that we do talk about a lot in the fall and spring when we start seeing these seasonal changes is the flu. So the flu is a big thing in America every year. unfortunately kills a lot of people and it gets many more sick. So the best way to prevent the flu is getting a flu shot and washing your hands. We're already starting to see some sporadic cases of the flu across the southeast. In Florida, it's still in that low stage right now, but places like Alabama, Georgia, and Mississippi, they've already started to see the sporadic cases of it. So it's just a matter of time before it gets here.
And you want to monitor your susceptible population, the elderly, the young. They're going to be a little bit more susceptible to catching the flu.
Absolutely, yeah. So again, the best way to prevent the flu is to get a flu shot. It doesn't guarantee that you are going to be completely safe from the flu, but it is your best chance to prevent it. And it also, studies have shown that just getting the flu shot, even if you still get the flu, your symptoms are a little bit more mild.
And with the cold weather, we do encourage you, dress warmly. But studies have also shown that it's more that's not one of the main causes for catching the cold. The cold is a bacteria or a virus that you spread. So the cold is not going to give you the flu, but you still want to bundle up and stay warm just to stay healthy throughout the cold season.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, just wash your hands, make sure you drink enough fluids. When you wash your hands, you want to make sure that you are using warm water, antibacterial soap, and it's suggested just to stay under the warm water and use a lot of friction for about 20 seconds or so.
And exercising as well can keep you in good shape to keep your immune system strong and healthy. With the cold weather, take advantage of your home gyms. Maybe if you have a membership, get your money's worth, get out there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. There's no reason we can't start our New Year's
resolutions early.
Yeah, early.
That is a great idea.
Why do we have to wait until next year to start them? All right, now we're going to take a look here at our local weather with Jennifer at the wall.
Thank you guys. Now let's take a look at Doak Campbell Stadium. Earlier today, we saw mainly clear conditions, even cold conditions, as that low temperature this morning was 29 degrees. However, ending out the day, we're keeping with those skies in the upper levels, but mainly clear, especially heading on to the overnight hours, which will allow temperatures to dip down as we get into tonight. Right now, 46 degrees across the Tallahassee area, mostly cloudy as we do have those upper level clouds, but the winds are very calm, so not much wind action happening. But it does feel quite cold when you walk outside. Around the region, we're keeping with temperatures in the mid-40s for most of the Big Bend region, 41 degrees for Valdosta, as well as 46 in Tallahassee. A little bit warmer along the coast, 48 degrees, but not that much warmer. They do have a little bit more marine action happening in those areas. Dew points are very low across the region. We're seeing dew points in the mid-30s for most of the Big Bend area. So with these low dew points, not a lot of humidity is in the air. So it does feel very dry when you walk outside. That's very great hair weather, especially for someone like me with curly hair. And with the winds coming out of the north, it does feel a little bit more chilly because we do have this northerly wind bringing in some more colder conditions. So with these winds, not too strong, just in the 4 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, but that northerly flow is bringing a lot drier conditions for our region. And with those drier conditions, we're actually not going to see anything on the radar. Because of these low dew points, we're not going to have a lot of cloud cover even in these areas as well. Heading into the net tomorrow and into the afternoon, similar to what we saw today, with not a lot of cloud cover heading into tomorrow morning. We could see some frost in some cars that are on the ground heading into the morning hours. However, by the afternoon, it's a Friday, we're going to see the cloud cover increasing as we will have a lot more moisture heading onto the region. And we'll also see some more rain activity heading on to Friday afternoon and into Saturday. Saturday is our biggest rain chance heading on to the weekend. Tonight, though, 34 degrees. Some areas of the Big Bend could actually get too close to freezing. Partly cloudy heading into the overnight hours, but with these calmer winds and not a lot of cloud cover, we could see these temperatures drop a lot more heading into the overnight hours. Tomorrow's forecast, 64 degrees. It's going to be another chilly one, so make sure you layer up, especially in the morning hours heading on into the afternoon. Could see some frost along the grounds, but with these sunnier skies, it's going to heat up a little bit, so you may want to take a few layers off heading into the afternoon. But that southeast wind, we're going to see a little bit more moisture heading onto the region, especially going into Friday. Your marine forecast, 65 degrees, just a light chop along the bay areas, and heading into the week. Heading into the rest of the week, mainly clear conditions, 64 degrees for tomorrow. But the next rain chances as another warm front moves on into the region will start Saturday, heading on into the weekend. But look at that, 79 degrees heading into Sunday. We could even see an 80-degree day for that as well. I'm going to pass things off to Brantley for a look at the national.
All right, thanks, Jennifer. Now, across the nation right now, we do see a dive in the temperatures right across the middle section of America, stretching over to the East Coast. That's where we're seeing our coldest temperatures right now. Places like Detroit and Chicago in the 20s already, and that number is only going to drop as we go into this evening. So definitely a chilly night for the East Coast. Also very, very dry. This is a look here at the dew points across America right now. And when we get lower dew points, that's when the air is drier. So the closer this number is to our actual temperature, the more damp the air is. And these numbers are far from the actual temperature. So we are seeing very dry conditions. People are going to need their lotion for sure out there. Across the nation, though, high pressure is in control for most of the East Coast right now. So we are seeing pretty dry conditions. We are seeing a little bit of moisture across the western coast right there near California and Nevada, because they do have a low pressure there with some onshore flow that's helping produce a lot of moisture for that area. So as we go into our surface map here, we see that high pressure across the southeast and the southwest, but we do have a few fronts in the middle sections there. Now zooming into the northeast, we do have some snow, and especially in the higher elevations there. Otherwise, just very high clouds in the area. The water vapor is also not really showing a whole lot right now. So there, we do have a few snow flurries, but not a lot of moisture to produce any type of heavy snowfall or precipitation. As far as our weather alerts go, most of our alerts are along the coast here. We have gale warnings up and down the northeast coast. That is for boaters to let them know that the winds are very high in those areas. So it's definitely not advised that you go out on the waters right now. Across the southeast, high pressure dominating the area today, so very dry conditions for most of the area, but we are starting to see a little bit of moisture come off the Gulf here, so we do have this moisture in the upper levels, but in the lower levels not so much right now. We will see that change though overnight as some of that moisture starts to filter into the area. Weather alerts for the southeast right now. We have a flood warning for some rivers in Texas and on the Louisiana and Texas border, but we could see that flood conditions get worse as we head into the weekend, because we could see a warm front bring us some pretty heavy rainfall. In California, they are finally getting some much needed rain. Hopefully this rain does move a little bit farther south there. This rain does transition into snow in the higher elevations there, and it is continuing to dump on those areas. So they do have a winter storm warning for the northeastern sections of California. On the northwestern side, they do have a high wind advisory for those areas there. And just like the northeast coast, the west coast also is seeing very hazardous seas right now. So they are seeing some pretty nasty conditions on the water. And we are watching the drought still. Even though we had this rain, we are still in an abnormally dry period here for most of California. Down in Los Angeles, they are still seeing that extreme drought, but the exceptional drought is more located towards Utah, New Mexico, Arizona. Those areas are really seeing some pretty dry conditions. Now, our next storm system that we are watching is on Friday, when we could see a warm front lift moisture off the Gulf and create some pretty hazardous conditions for most of the southeast. We have a slight risk for severe storms on Friday. That goes into Saturday night as well. And a slight risk is severe threat level 2 out of 5. So that is a pretty significant potential there for severe storms, especially this far out. So we will be watching that very closely as it does as that time does get closer.
Yeah, we do want to explain some severe weather, especially with those slight risks heading on into Friday. Friday is the severe weather.
Yeah, absolutely. So the Storm Prediction Center, they rank their forecast for severe storms on a scale of 1 to 5. So 1 is marginal, 2 is slight, and then 3 is
you have thunderstorm,
enhanced, moderate,
yes,
and then high. So
yes,
we have quite a few categories there. But the higher it goes, the more intense the storms could be.
Yes, and a slight risk basically says that well-organized severe thunderstorms are expected in the area. Not widespread thunderstorms or anything like that, but there's some could be severe within those storms.
Yeah, so again, with severe storms, there are several different modes of severe weather that these account for. So we could have tornadoes in some areas. Some areas their main threat could be high winds or hail. The threat does change for different areas. So it's important when we see these slight or moderate risks, especially for the southeast this time of the year, to really look into that and see what the main threats are for your area. So the main threats coming up for this storm system are going to be high winds and the potential for isolated tornadoes.
Yes, and heading on to the weekend, then we'll start to see a bit higher chances for some thunderstorms here in the Tallahassee area, as well as higher rain chances associated with that.
Yeah, so a slight risk, it just means that we're going to see some pretty well organized thunderstorms. A lot of them could be strong, some could be severe. Right now we have all modes of severe storms at play with this new system, so we're going to be watching that one pretty close as it gets closer to us, especially for the western parts of the Panhandle.
Yes. Heading things more locally right now, we're going to send things over to Melissa. She's going to give us a look around Florida.
Thank you, Jennifer. So let's take a tour of Florida and see why we are the state all the snowbirds want to flock to. So for the next few days, our temperatures are going to be in the 46 with Tallahassee, getting warmer further south, down towards the tip of Florida and Miami, 59, and the Keys even warmer with at 64. And across the same region, our dew points are pretty low throughout. 35 up north, home in Tallahassee, down in the Keys, where you might, if you're wanting to really vacation and travel further down and find those warm temperatures, dew points a little higher, but still dry, still comfortable. And the high keeping a northerly wind throughout most of Florida that we're looking at all the way down to the tip. Northerly winds and a couple of coastal sea breezes along the coastline throughout that region. So looking at the radar throughout today, we had some cloud coverage in the north, clearing out throughout eastern Florida down to southern Florida. A little bit of cloud coverage in mid-Florida around the Tampa area. Throughout the evening, kind of stayed a similar pattern and coverage throughout the area. Further south, a little bit clear though. Throughout Fort Myers, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, stayed clear throughout the day into the sunset. No rain across any region, but with all that sunshine, they're warm with 72, well, chilly, a little warmer than what we have up north up here. With 72 in West Palm Beach, Naples at 70, even warmer down in the Keys at 74 were the highs that we were looking at. Mid-Florida, a little bit more cloud coverage, similar to what we were looking at in our area. Still clear though, no rain in that, just a little bit of cloud coverage. And tomorrow's forecast warming up to 66 in Orlando, 70, a little bit warmer in Vero Beach, Fort Pierce at 70. And a little bit, go further up north to our northeast. They have a little bit of cloud coverage, not too much though, no rain. Very similar pattern across all of Florida. We're all experiencing the same lovely weather that draws to tourism around this time of year. And tomorrow they can expect 63 in the east with Jacksonville. We've got 64 in Cross City, so a slightly warmer throughout the afternoon. And in our area, we had cloud coverage throughout, starting really across I-10, Pensacola, all through Panama City and Tallahassee. No rain in that, just a bunch of clouds throughout the area. And tomorrow we can expect 66 in Destin, a little bit around the same as Crestview and Mariana at 64 in this region. Panama City, you're looking at a 66. And as far as the forecast through tomorrow, we can expect clear skies, sunshine, most of that cloud coverage associated with that warm front moving in and those storms stay mainly to our west throughout the day. And as that day moves into Friday afternoon, you can see those clouds starting to encroach as the weather will deteriorate as that front starts to move in. Tonight's forecast, we can expect 34 low, and tomorrow we warm up to a nice 64 degrees with all of that sunshine that we can expect. I'm going to hand it off to Brantley for a look at our local as well.
Thanks, Melissa. Here's some time-lapse photography from our Doak Campbell camera. That's on top of the Pensacola parking garage there. We saw some nice clear skies this morning with some high clouds filtering in by the middle of the day there. And then right before sunset, we did see a little bit heavier cloud cover, and that is going to help bring us a little bit more moisture tonight, which could give us the potential for frost in the morning. Now, we are a lot colder than normal today. Our average for this time of the year, the normal temperature is around 44 for our low, but today we've reached a low of 29 degrees this morning, and our high only got up to around 55. So we are about 15 degrees below the average for this time of the year. Right now, we're already back down to 46 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, and the wind is calm. So again, those mostly cloudy skies and the calm wind, the moisture is going to combine with the lack of wind there to produce some frost going into the morning areas, or going into the morning time. And that's thanks to a high pressure system aloft that's helping bring some clockwise flow. Eventually this will shift over some and help bring some onshore flow for our area off the Gulf there. So our current conditions, 46 degrees right now and 48 along the coast. A little bit warmer there near the water where they do have the Gulf to help moderate the temperature some. Our dew points are dramatically lower than they were just a few days ago. So we're seeing dew points mostly in the 30s right now. A few days ago, they were in the 50s and 60s. So we are in that very dry conditions right now, and that will be the case until we see a warm front move through later this weekend. Our wind direction mostly coming out of the northwest or north thanks to that clockwise flow from the high pressure system. And again, those winds will shift over the next 12 to 24 hours or so. Tonight's forecast, 34 degrees for Tallahassee and Quincy. Along the coast, a little bit warmer there. St. Mark's at 40, same for Carabel, 41 for Apalachicola. So we will see some pretty warm conditions, or it's not pretty warm, warmer conditions for the coastal areas. Our forecast model does not show much in the way of precipitation going into Thursday, just some clouds moving through, but still a lot of sunshine. And then on Friday, we do see some partly cloudy skies with more clouds filtering in off the Gulf as we go into Friday night, and that's ahead of a storm system on Saturday. So tonight, partly cloudy skies, nice calm wind. Our marine forecast for tomorrow, sunny skies, a light chop on the waters there, and a frosty morning is in store. So we'll start off in the morning at around 9 a.m. for your morning commute, around 43 degrees with pretty chilly conditions, but warming up very quickly by the afternoon down to around 61 degrees under sunny skies. Those sunny skies stick around through the evening hours as well, with dropping to 59 by 5 p.m. and we stay clear through the evening as well. So another cool night is ahead tomorrow night. But we will reach a high ultimately there of around 64 degrees. So warmer days are ahead going into the weekend. We see temperatures rebound close to the 80-degree mark, but we do have a storm system moving in on Saturday thanks to a warm front coming off the Gulf that could bring us some potentially strong thunderstorms, maybe even some severe storms for the area. And then Sunday into Monday, that moisture lingers around until a cold front comes next week to help kind of kick that system out of the area.
Yes, that middle next week we can expect that sunshine to return, drier weather. Sunshine, something to look forward to.
You know, tomorrow, Friday, that's the prime time to be outside. That's going to be the good conditions. So if you have if you want to be outside, that tomorrow, the next couple days are the time to do your outdoor activities before we get the rainy conditions.
Yeah, get your morning run in, your afternoon runs. You're all clear for the next couple days with your runs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I need to go out there and run too, especially after Thanksgiving last week. So I need to go start doing that.
You and me both.
Yeah, tonight though we do have a low of 34 degrees. So please remember to protect your pipes, especially if you're in inland areas where you could have a light freeze. You might want to check on people that don't have access to heating as well, like children and the elderly, especially those that might still be experiencing damage from Hurricane Michael. So those areas are definitely prone.
This is definitely the time that if you have extra blankets that you want to volunteer, donate, that this is the weather that you do that in, pre-cold conditions.
And also don't forget about your pets. And if it is too cold for you to be outside, it is too cold for your pets to be outside too. So make sure that you bring your animals inside, make them comfortable. It's just one more night of the cold, and then we'll be back in more mild conditions going into the weekend. So again, if it's too cold for you, it's too cold for them.
Yeah,
so
and if your animals are comfortable, you are comfortable.
Exactly. Yeah. So another thing is we watch out for fire safety as well. So make sure that you are not leaving your space heater on when you're gone. You can follow us on social media for all the latest weather updates, and you can watch us on YouTube as well. All of our shows are recorded live there, and we do have some updates there special sometimes as well.
And if any of you get some cool frosty pictures, the frost in the mornings, send them in and we'll get them up.
Yeah, we'll have them there on all of our social media. They could be featured here on our show as well. So we'd love to see your pictures of any kind of stuff outside.
Unique weather, chilly weather, that time of year.
Yeah.
All
right. Well, I'm student meteorologist Brantley Kike.
And I'm student meteorologist Melissa Thomas.
Have a good night.